Good morning, Rhoda. It is Sunday, October 27th, and I started a new job recently. It's been really interesting. I like the work and everything, but the social situation is very different from what I'm used to because there's a lot of employees, a lot of new coworkers to meet, and it's kind of like a new kid in a high school environment, which I've done before, but it's been a very long time. And I'm not used to being new to so many people. So I've discovered some things about myself. And one thing that I've discovered is that I don't small talk. It's not a conscious effort to avoid small talk or to just not participate in the social norm in that way, but I am so uninterested in small talk that I end up just not doing it. So instead, like when someone says, "Hey, what does your tattoo mean?" Instead of saying, "Oh, it symbolizes creativity," I go on a 5 minute explanation of Joni Mitchell's song Amelia and his Dark Materials and the I Ching and the Grateful Dead and their radio I Ching and all of these things that came together and colluded to make this a tattoo that I wanted and I thought I would like for the rest of my life. And that's not normal. It's not normal to tell huge stories. Like several months ago, I met some new people, and one of them said, "How old are you?" And I said, "It's interesting because I am equidistant between the ages of my friend Bethany, who is 5 years younger than me, and my friend Scott, who is 5 years older than me." So I look at Bethany and I think that's what my life was like 5 years ago, and I look at Scott and I'm like, that's what my life is going to be like in 5 years from now, and went on this huge tangent about that. And Nate, who had asked me the question, having come to the conclusion that I was 25 based on the information I gave him, said that is the longest answer to "how old are you" that I've ever heard in my life. And that's what I do. It's not on purpose. It's just I'm kind of strange, and so that's what I do. But I prefer that. Like, I'm not upset about being strange in that way because I find that kind of explanation of my age way more interesting than "I'm 25," which I'm 26 now, but that's not the point. Like, it's not normal. But I feel like if you're going to ask someone what their tattoo means or why they got their tattoo, you should be strapped in and ready for a long explanation. Because if somebody's going to stick something on their flesh for the rest of their lives, they're probably going to have a good and involved reason for it. They may not, but they probably will. And, if you're going to ask those sorts of things, I feel like you should be prepared for that. And those are the kinds of conversations that I want to have. I don't want to talk about the weather. I'm sick of people asking me if I'm married and if I have kids. Like, that's not interesting. I don't care if people are married. I don't care what their spouses do for a living. I don't care how long they've worked at this job. I don't care what their experience in pharmacy has been, really. And I find that those are the questions that people are asking. Those are the things that, in trying to get to know a new person, that's what people are doing. And I just don't find much value in it. Like, I'm asking people, like, have you seen any good movies lately? And hoping that they're going to tell me something interesting. And usually it's just like, "Oh, I watched this comedy recently. It made me laugh." And that's fine, but that's not what I'm looking for. I I'm strange, and I've been told that I'm weird at my new workplace, and I think it's because I skipped the step of trying to fit into the social norm by making small talk, and I, don't really mind that much. It's been a long time since I felt completely like an outsider and super strange to everyone, and it kind of got me down a little bit, but then I talked with some of my friends, and I realized that it's okay with me because I don't want to be a person who is making small talk, and I just don't value that. So if you know me, or you know any weird person who is not engaging in small talk, I really encourage you to embrace that, because small talk is worthless. There's a reason it's called small, because it's terrible and inconsequential. You're not going to know anything. You're not going to learn anything. You will walk away having no concept of who that person is. And why would you talk to them if you don't care to learn who they are? So, my advice for interacting with myself and other weird people like me, I guess, is to forego small talk willfully, be along for the ride. If you're going to ask a question you want to hear the answer to, and you're interested in their response, and be engaged in the conversation. Because if you're just asking questions to fill space, you might as well just not be talking.